Welcome to Pokemon Go Ahead, it's your boy Cheeklay, and today we're talking about Pokemon Go's new type of event called Wild Area. Tons of electric and poison type Pokemon are spawning everywhere. Toxtricity and Dynamax Toxtricity make their debut. Mighty Pokemon are gonna be out in the wild, and so much more. What is a Mighty Pokemon, and how do you get Toxtricity? Well, there's a lot that we have to break down, but before we do, subscribe, hit the bell, and let me know your thoughts in the comments below about the wild area. Now, I should also mention that the wild area is going to take place in Fukuoka, Japan on November 16th to the 17th, and the following weekend will be global from November 23rd through the 24th. So first, let's talk about the event that is happening in person in Fukuoka, Japan. Like we said, Fukuoka, Japan is going to be on November 16th through Sunday, November 17th. The event is going to be from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. local time. The in-person location is going to be in Maizuru Park during the in-person location, and then of course there's the city experience. The ticket cost is going to be 3,100 yen, which I think translates to 21 to 22 US dollars. I know this is like so last second, but it takes about a month and a half to decide, not only if you're going to buy the ticket, but if you're going to travel to Japan. For me, the answer is no, because I have stuff going on during that weekend. And of course, there's going to be some add-ons. I don't know how they translate to US currency, but it's kind of the same thing as Go Fest and Go Tour, where you have the city experience add-on. You also have the enthusiast and the raid lover, all that stuff. So you buy the ticket and you go to Japan. What are you going to be expecting? Well, for the first time ever, Go Safari Balls will make their Pokemon Go debut during this event. Go Safari Balls are highly effective Pokeballs that make capturing Pokemon much easier. Try using one when encountering a mighty Pokemon. There is one downside, however. They also say that these balls will disappear and expire after the event is over. So if you're going to try to use a Safari Ball outside of the Wild Area event in Fukuoka or outside of Fukuoka, you're not going to be able to, because they will disappear in your item bag. Now, there are three types of Pokemon that are going to be spawning in the Wild Area. You have Electric type Pokemon, you have Poison type Pokemon, and you have a new set of Pokemon called Mighty Pokemon. Generally, they're fully evolved Pokemon that you capture that will have higher IVs, like high attack, defense, and HP. They're also going to have a better chance of being XL or XXL, and they're most likely going to be more difficult to capture. So that's why you're going to want to use Safari Balls to capture these exclusive Pokemon. And these Mighty Pokemon can be shiny. We'll explain which ones are the Mighty Pokemon in just a little bit. Toxel will be hatching from 10-kilometer eggs during the event from the very first time in Pokemon Go, and attendees may even hatch a shiny Toxel if they're lucky. After completing a short introductory special research story, attendees for the Fukuoka, Japan Wild Area event will receive 2 type-themed special research opportunities, with each focused on one of the featured Pokemon types. Hone your skills and become an expert trainer of both electric and poison type Pokemon. And of course, like all in-person events, there's always a shiny increase boost for these events, so good luck trying to get those shinies. And ladies and gentlemen, like we said earlier, Toxtricity will be debuting in Pokemon Go. The way how you can get Toxtricity is a couple of ways. The first way is to complete a 4-star raid battle. And note to self that there are 2 types of Toxtricity, which are the amped form and the low-key form. Another way is to do Dynamax Toxtricity max battles. Now, yes, you can get a shiny for one of those 2 or both, but I recommend that you have 4 people, because with the tier 3s that we have with Beldum and Phalanx, they're not easy. And I guarantee you, they're going to be like 4 or 5 tier max battles, which will make them very harder. So have friends and other attendees do those max battles with you. Don't do these alone, please. And in 5-star raids, we have the return of Origin Dialga and Origin Palkia. The last time we saw those 2 was during Sinnoh in LA back in February, and they have the exclusive moves Roar of Time and Spatial Rend. Just remember, those are the 2 moves that have these things called adventure effects. So if you activate it, if you use Origin Dialga with Roar of Time, obviously you pause timed items like Incense, Lucky Eggs, Star Pieces, etc. And if you have Origin Palkia, it'll have Spatial Rend, which will expand the radius of your spot to get some extra encounters which are really, really great. So if you spend candy on those, this would be a great chance to raid for those again and try to get an increased shiny rate on those legendaries. Now, if you are either at Maizuru Park or throughout the city experience in Fukuoka, you're going to be seeing a ton of these following Pokemon spawning in the wild. There are 3 types, which are Electric, Poison, and Mighty. So let's start off with the Electric types, which include Alolan Geodude, Magnemite, Voltorb, Hisuian Voltorb, Electabuzz, Electrike, Shinx, Blitzel, Joltik, Timino, Stunfisk, and Helioptile. Everything can be shiny. Then we have Poison types, which will include Bulbasaur, Bellsprout, Tentacool, Spinarak, Paldea Wooper, Quillfish, Hisuian Quillfish, Skorupi, Krogunk, Venipede Skrelp, and Mareanie. All of those can be shiny. And now let's talk about mighty Pokemon for just a little bit. Like we said, these are important Pokemon to encounter because they have higher IVs. They're going to be more difficult to catch, so that's very important to highlight. And they're going to have a higher chance of being XL or XXL. And you're not going to believe it, guys, but all these mighty Pokemon can be shiny, and they all generally are fully evolved Pokemon, such as Venusaur, Pidgeot, Poliwrath, Golem, Gyarados, Dragonite, Feraligatr, Ampharos, Luxray, Garchomp, Electivire, Mamoswine, Scolipede, Galvantula, Electros, Dragalge, Tyrantrum, Toxapex, and Overqwil. That is like a ton of Pokemon. That is super crazy. And I want to point out that it's not often you encounter a fully evolved shiny Pokemon. Because generally, like Mega Pokemon, like Venusaur for example, because that has a Mega Evolution, you're most likely to get it in the wild as a shiny or from an encounter from a Mega Raid. But Dragonite and Luxray and Tyrantrum? Yo, that's crazy! And then finally, there's some bonuses and features such as increased chance of getting shiny Pokemon, like all other in-person ticket events. 1/2 hatch distance for eggs placed in incubators. You also get special 10-kilometer eggs, so if you're going to want to shiny hunt for shiny Toxel, this is something you want to take advantage of. You also have lure modules activated for lasting to 2 hours, and 2 times catch candy, which will be crazy if you go after those mighty Pokemon. Attendees will receive the following bonuses and rewards between 12 a.m. and 11:59 p.m. local time anywhere in Fukuoka on their ticketed day and during their city experience, which will be up to 9 raid passes from spinning gyms or stops. You also get up to 6 special trades per day, making a total of 12. And then you get reduced Stardust cost for those trades. And finally, certain Pokemon will learn exclusive attacks when encountered or evolve. Venusaur with Frenzy Plant, Pidgeot with Gust, Poliwrath with Counter, Gyarados with Aqua Tail, Feraligatr with Hydro Cannon, and Luxray with Psychic Fangs. And ladies and gentlemen, that's everything we know about Fukuoka, Japan Wild Area. Now let's talk about the Wild Area globally. The global version of the Wild Area event is going to be on Saturday, November 23rd through Sunday, November 24th. This is also going to start from 10 a.m. through 6:15 p.m. local time, which is weird. We get extra 15 minutes for an 8-hour period, which is really weird, but we're just going to go with it. Same thing, Toxtricity debuts in 4-star raids and in Dynamax raids, so you can try to get a shiny from that. Toxel will be encountered from 10-kilometer eggs, so if you're lucky, you may get a shiny Toxel. Safari Balls are also going to be exclusive for the Global Wild Area event. Kind of the same thing, makes it a lot easier to catch your mighty Pokemon. Unfortunately, after 6:15 p.m. local time, they will disappear from your inventory on both days. So you can use those during the event, but you're not going to use them or ever see them after. And of course, we talked about mighty Pokemon, and again, they are going to be in the wild. But we're going to talk about them in just a little bit for this event because the spawns for all the Pokemon are going to be different depending on the day. Trainers who purchase a Pokemon GO Global Wild Area ticket before October 22nd and they play the event from October 15th through the 22nd will unlock and receive a time research that can reward you a Toxel mask. Okay, we're gonna move on. Now, I should also mention that the global version of the Wild Area is for free. However, you do have the option to buy a ticket if you want to have some extra bonuses including increased shiny rates. And of course, Origin Dialga and Origin Palkia are going to be in 5-star raids, just like with the Fukuoka event. Now, for all trainers, whether you pay a ticket or you're playing for free, you are going to be experiencing different habitat hours. It's going to go back and forth with the electric hour and the poison hour. So one hour will feature all the electric types and the other will feature the poison types. And all the spawns that we mentioned for the Fukuoka Japan event are all going to be the same. So for this event, during electric hours, you're going to see the Voltorbs, you're going to see Helioptile, you're going to see Magnemite, you're going to see all those Pokemon. Poison hours, the same thing. You're going to see the Quillfish, the Swimming Quillfish, the Moraine, etc. And you're also going to see the Mighty Pokemon. Here's the huge difference. Now, Mighty Pokemon are going to be spawning all throughout the entire weekend, but it's going to be split into halves. So some are going to be featured on Saturday, and some will be featured on Sunday. So on Saturday, November 23rd, you're going to see Pidgeot, Golem, Gyarados, Luxray, Scolipede, Galvantula, Tyrantrum, and Toxapex. Then on Sunday, November 24th, you will encounter Venusaur, Poliwrath, Dragonite, Feraligatr, Electivire, Mamoswine, Electros, and Dragalge. They all have a shiny eligibility, and you can get an increased chance by buying the tickets. Now, of course, we know 4-star rates and 5-star rates are the same for Fukuoka Japan. In addition, there's also going to be 3-star rates that you're going to go after. On Saturday, Luxray and Scolipede will be in 3-star rates, and on Sunday, Venusaur and Electivire will be in 3-star rates. Then for all trainers, bonuses include lure modules lasting for 2 hours. You also get a chance of receiving special backgrounds for 4- and 5-star raid bosses, which I think it's crazy that they're starting to do like global backgrounds. You also get field research theme around different Pokemon habitats, so like the electric and poison types. And then you get 1 Go Snapshot surprise event encounter per day, making a total of 2. We don't know exactly what they are as of now. Obviously, we have the same thing happening with encounters and evolutions. If you have Venusaur, it will have Frenzy Plant, Luxray with Psychic Fangs, and so on. And now it is time for ticket holder exclusive stuff. So if you decide to buy a ticket, first of all, tickets are going to be $12 US, which is not that bad for a price if you ask me. If we're going to have the exact same stuff if we were to go to Japan, which we're not. I know, I'm so sorry. And then we have some exclusive bonuses if you buy the $12 tickets. Increased chance of encountering shiny Pokemon, which is probably the #1 reason you would buy a ticket. I know that's what I'm going to do. You also have level up your Elite Collector medal by completing collection challenges. We'll see what that is in the future. 2 times Catch Candy, 1 half egg hatch distance, 2 times Hatch Stardust, 2 times Hatch XP, 2 times Hatch Candy. You get up to 5 raid passes from spinning gyms and Pokestops. You get 5,000 additional XPs from completing raids. You get 1 additional Candy XL from doing 4, 5 Mega, Ultra, Beast, and Primal raids, which is huge. You get up to 6 special trades, and there's going to be a half Stardust cost for those trades. And you get 3 snapshot encounters instead of 1 each day, which, wow, that's a lot. So here are my thoughts about this event. It's like GoFest and Tour event, but they're adding a different element. They're adding Dynamax Pokemon. They're adding Mighty Pokemon, which means Pokemon that are fully evolved that don't often spawn or be shiny get a chance to be shiny. You also have all these other effects like, you know, like you get the chance to play a global version event throughout the fall. If you're impatient of waiting for like the spring or summer to play GoFest, Safari Zone, or Tour events, right? There has to be something to do during the fall. So this is a great addition to it, and it kind of gives us an idea of what kind of Pokemon could be featured in the future if this is something they want to do every single year. I thought Gigantamax Pokemon were going to feature. I thought more Dynamax Pokemon would be featured, but right now, the Dynamax Max Battle Raid feature is starting to get more difficult and complex and a little bit stressful right now. So hopefully they can make some improvements so then it's actually fun for Dynamax Toxtricity to take down. But I would say overall this is a really fun event. I don't think that it was a good idea to advertise and give full details this late for an in-person event, considering it's like a month and a half away. Some people have to plan ahead to like fly in, get a hotel, cover expensive for this and that, and then just kind of like arrange how they're going to play in Fukuoka, Japan if they want to go. So like, you know, not well scheduled, but at least this is a fun idea of an event, and I can't wait to play the global version. I'm sorry that I won't be in Japan, but yeah, if you're going to Japan, let me know in the comments below. We will see you next time. Peace out.